Hey, it's Evan. Welcome back to another episode of the Mindful 8 podcast. And in today's episode, we're talking about how to be number one, you have to be odd. Simple as. This might be a brief episode because the concept is so simple. To strive to be number one, whether you're competing against others or you're simply competing against self, which is the only quote unquote challenge you have each day, you have to be odd. Odd and normal. Normalcy gets you second, third, and fourth place. Being odd literally makes you number one. And that goes for striving to be the highest version of yourself. You have to be odd. You have to think differently. You'd all know this to be true. To be number one, you have to be odd. Number one is an odd number. It makes so much sense. And this truly might be a short video because it serves as a good reminder that to be the person you've always wanted to become, to be someone you've never been, you have to be willing to do things you've never done. And that comes from odd thinking. Normal thinking is thinking inside the box, right? We live in the box in the mind, in the camera, black mirror, our room, our house, apartment, community. And to think, well, if I want to be somewhere in the future, I have to think a little bit differently. I have to think odd because that's how I'm going to become number one. But remember, we're not competing against others. We're not comparing ourselves to others. We're comparing ourselves to the man or woman in the mirror. This is what shadow work is. Remember, there's the eternal now identity, the person that's here and now. You're listening and watching this and or watching this. That person is the eternal now. But there is the old version of you, the past version, and there's the new version, the number one version, right? You love that old version. You confront this identity with love and affection because that person is you. You can return to that identity like that. But there's also the number one version, the new paradigm identity. And how do you get to be that person? Well, what's a good start in embodying that identity? Just think differently, be odd, be weird. There's so much wisdom in weirdness. It's like one of my favorite quotes because it's a pattern interrupt to get me back to alignment. To be number one, you have to be odd. To be number two, you have to be even. Even is the same person every single day, not changing, not striving to be better. And if you are thinking of others, comparing yourself to others, it's not wanting to be better than them. Because remember, them, your brother, your sister, we're all one. We're all here to wake up. And everybody gets there at one point in their lives. But here's one quote that may just help you wake up here and now. To be number one, you have to be odd. So think differently. Take the time to reflect on where you're at and where you want to go. Understand that you can only connect the dots looking backwards. And with all this knowing, with this big understanding, you now have the knowledge of what comes next. And sometimes that's just doing things that don't make sense. More times than not, it's not going to make sense to other people. You can't worry about that. And sometimes it doesn't make sense to you, but your intuition is leading you to this place or that place. Follow that. That's really important. That's odd. Humans love pattern. They love repetition. They love routine. But you have the capability of breaking that routine through pattern interruption and through thinking through your own filter and creating your own reality. And that simply comes with thinking differently and being odd, being weird. There is wisdom in weirdness. All the greats, all the philosophers, they're all weird. Strive to be weird. Strive to be odd. To be number one, you have to be odd. I love you. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.